today's video, we're going to be talking about the HUD, or heads-up display, in the in-game battle. So to start, at the top side of the middle of the page, obviously you've figured out now that is your team and the enemy team, and the types of tanks on each team, the tier, and how many hit points. On the left side and right side, of course, are the types of tanks and the tiers also. And then on the bottom left is your tank hit points, the modules of each in your tank, and your crew. Of course, when one of these are damaged, they will pop up, highlight that they're damaged, or the crew member is hurt. That will be highlighted too. Then, of course, the bottom center is your ammunition and your consumables, your repair kit, your med kit, and your fire extinguisher, and of course the number keys assigned to them. But I guess one of the most important things about this heads-up display is the map. The map is your information source. As you can see on the map, you're going to see 4 different circles around your tank. The outer circle is your maximum view range visually on the map, how far you can see a tank if it is spotted. The white line would be the maximum vision that you can spot a tank, of course dependent upon their camo. And then the green line is how far you can actually spot. So with this tank that right here, the green line, now that's as far as I can spot with this tank. My vision system this is how far that I can see. The white line is potentially how far I could see. And then of course the blue circle really close around the tank, that is the perimeter circle around where you will get spotted if a tank comes within that circle, regardless of whether they're in your view range or not. Like right now, this Churchill, it is keeping me spotted because it is inside that circle. After you get out of that circle and you're not spotted by anyone else visually, there's a 10-second, I believe, timer until you are not spotted. Now you can go into the settings and you can adjust your map the way that you would like it to be displayed. I like it to be displayed like you see it. I want to see what type of tanks are where. As you can see, as a tank gets hit, the circle around the type of tank reduces. That just gives you kind of an indicator of how many hit points are left on the tank. You can change that to where you hit your Alt key and it'll bring that information up when you hold down your Alt key. Of course, the way I have mine set up, I hold down the Alt key and on either side it displays the hit points that are left on tanks and what tanks are destroyed and whatnot. Also towards the top center of the screen are your mission logs, I guess you could say. It kind of indicates to you how you're doing with your mission as the game progresses. It's not really that important of information. It's not something that's critical to the battle, but it's just a little informative thing. And now you can see to the bottom left where it's set, where up beside my tank information panel, you see where the damage I have collected has gone. Right now it's at 2312, and then below that is your block damage, and then below that is your assisted or tracking damage. And then you can go into the settings and you can select how you want this displayed, or if you even want it displayed. It's up to you. You can really fool around with it and it'll show you exactly what you're going to get when you see it. So let's go into the garage and take a look at that real quick. So here we're going to take a look in the settings. So this is fairly simple to get into. So settings over here, top left, then settings, and then you can go in here and pretty much control however you want. Um, you can Google or look up other people's settings to how they have their setup. I've done that. I've kind of taken pieces of people's maybe and put it together the way I like it. Wargaming has done a really good job of being able to show you visually here what it's going to look like when you change these settings. Um, Really, one of the suggestions that I would definitely recommend is when you pick your crosshairs, always pick one with armor penetration indicator. So basically, what that is going to do is when your reticle goes over top of a enemy tank, if you cannot penetrate it, it's going to be red. If you have a chance of penetrating it, it will be in like of an orange color. And if you have a very good chance of penetrating it, it'll be green. But make sure when you do that, you set it in your arcade, and when you go into sniper, you set it in sniper too. Because if you only set it in one, then when you go to this view here, you're not. It's like you set it on arcade, you'll see the penetration. But when you get to this view, you will not see it in sniper unless you have both of them set up that way. That's one thing that I did screw up at first when I first did this. So make sure you have them both set to with armor penetration indicator. You definitely want that. Like I said, this you can go in here and for here, this is how your team, the enemy team, would be marked. Um, I don't I don't really need to know. I want to know what tank it is and its hit points. I don't really need to know the player's name. I'm not too concerned about it. I mean, I will put it on there to know who it is, but mainly I want to know the tier, the vehicle model, and how many hit points are left. So you'll always have that set up, and then the team, you can set that up the way you want to, and the destroyed. Set that. So Wargaming has done a good job of giving you options. It used to not be like this. You used to really couldn't. They didn't give you much of anything. And the same with here is good to know because you can tell where you want to set this up so that your damage received main lane, your critical, and you're blocked. So you know where somebody is shooting you from. You may hear it, but it's always good to set this up so you know what direction you're being shot from. It's a little in a way, it's kind of almost a cheat code. But and then of course this, you can set up to however you want. This is just battle information. It's not critical to the progression of the battle. It's just information for you and the way you would like things set up and what you want to know um, going on, and that's really about it. So that's really about it for this tutorial. It's pretty basic. I just wanted to go over really what you're seeing in game and the map. The map is more important than you realize as a beginner. It can tell you a lot of information. I use the map. I'm constantly glancing down at the map to see what's going on where. So I hope this was helpful, and until next time.